Hey friends, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my studio. I hope you're having a great day. Now I know I haven't been around for a while. I'm in the process of getting my house ready to be sold. And now that I have sold it, I'm actually able to get my studio all messy again before I actually close and have to move out, which is in a few months. So I'm doing great on time. But also I've been on vacation, so I am back and I'm ready to get pouring again. So today I'm going to be working on a commission piece. Now this person already bought another painting of mine, which I'm really excited about. And she wants some sort of interesting colors to go along with her very nicely colored and decorated condo. I want to go see it. So I'll be using blues, some cream, some rose gold, some garnet, and some gold. And we're gonna do a pearl pour. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to work on a 24 by 24 canvas. This is more of a test pour, but if it turns out great, who knows, she might even wanna buy that. So I'm going to work on that to get sort of my color palette down and also get some practice. It's been a few months since I've done a pearl pour. So when I do my pearl pour, I only use Artist Loft Soft Body White, Floetrol, and a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium. I don't use satin enamels. I don't really need to. I think Artist Loft paints work really well also with pearl pours. So we'll see how that goes today. The thing I'm going to do today is I am going to do, I think, a tree ring pour, and then I'm going to cover the whole canvas with it because what she wants is the whole canvas covered with the painting, and hopefully the pearls will come up around the edges and around the sides, maybe in the middle, who knows. So we'll see how that goes. Now I'm going to mix my paints up here in just a few moments, and I will show you the colors before we get started. Okay guys, here we are back in my studio. There is my 24 by 24 canvas. And these are the colors I'm gonna be using today in sort of like a tree ring pour, pearl pour. So this is just different variations of blue, and I added a little bit of champagne and a little bit of silver in this one, just to kind of deepen that up a little bit. This is crimson, and this is my version of rose gold. I had to add a little bit of red to the gold, a little bit redder or a little bit more orange than I like, but you know, other than that, it's pretty cool. And this is gold, and then this is my base coat, and that is Artist Loft Soft Body White. Now, all of these paints are only mixed with paint, Floetrol, a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and water. That's all. There's nothing else added to it. There's no silicone. There's no satin enamel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my edges and corners white and get that ready. We'll pour down the base coat, make sure it's evenly covered, and then we'll go ahead and pour this. Now, before I do the base coat, though, I'm going to put this in a big cup or some other kind of container to pour it and do a ring pour with. So I'm going to get started here in just a moment. I'm going to double check my consistencies and we'll get moving. Hey friends, here we are. We're back. Edges and sides are painted white, and a little hello there. So my cup I'm going to be using there is about 24 ounces total, and I've got about 24 ounces here of the colors that I'm going to be using today. So I'm just slowly pouring them in, sort of layering them so they don't all mix, and that's why I have the cup sort of tilted to one side. Now when you're doing a tree ring pour, your paints have to be a little bit thicker because you want the rings to appear, and you want to have some definition in the actual pour. It's also important how you layer the cup and with what colors you're using. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of this video. So I'm just slowly layering the cup, getting all the colors in there. Finishing up there with the red, and then that sort of orangey, reddish rose gold. So there we go. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to then flood my canvas with the base coat. Remember, it's pretty much just Artist Loft Soft Body White, Floetrol, water to thin it down, as well as a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium. Now I put a lot of base coat on there. I wanted to make sure it was covered. You can see there's a lot. So I wanted to make sure each edge and corner were covered. So I'm just tilting, getting it all stretched out. Now remember, this is a test pour for a larger pour, doing pretty much the exact same process here. maybe using the colors a little bit differently as well. So I'm popping the bubbles with my culinary torch. Drying my hands off there a little bit so I don't drip onto the canvas. And just a little bit of a pillow there that I want to start on. I do that sometimes. It just helps it move a little bit better on the canvas. So here we go. So as you can see, I've moved it slightly towards that lower right corner, just to kind of spread it out and put the weight right where I stopped right there. I didn't want to do it exactly in the center. I wanted it to be sort of off center, a little bit more abstract that way. Now I'm really loving that gold, that rose gold. However, I wish I had more of it towards the bottom of the cup there. Now with these pours, you need to get a lot of that paint off. Now I'll be honest with you, I think I had a little bit too much paint on the canvas. As you can see, I tilted a lot of that orange off on that corner. Now at this point, it wasn't looking too bad. I like that the red was showing up towards the center of the tree ring pour. Actually, I wish I had a little bit more red and definition in there, but you know, it's fluid art, and sometimes you can't predict exactly how everything's going to come out. Now the pearls are starting to form, popping bubbles to allow more of the pearls to come to the surface. And I'm going to put it on time lapse, and you can see that they start to fill in. Now this is what I was going for. I wanted the corners to be covered. So I accomplished that on the first two corners that I tilted the paint over. And then I started getting some speckles in the middle, which was great. So this was a good first pour after not having done a pearl pour in quite some time. And we'll show you the dried results and walkthrough. Okay guys, here I am back. It's been about an hour. And yeah, I'm really pleased with this. This is sort of what I was going for. You know, having some of the white around the corners. I'm glad some speckled through here. A couple of things I wanted to note that I observed in doing this. I think my paints were just a little too thick. And I think I had a little too much of the pouring paint in the puddle and in the tree ring. So I've got these really great pearls, as you can see. I wish I had more of the red and that sort of coppery orange in there, but this is a kind of a cool look. Let me walk around over here. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. So I'm pretty excited, and I'm gonna let this sit because more may pop up. I will do my heat gun just to make sure they're all popped. But other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. I don't think it's gonna move. So sorry about the glare. Yeah, friends, I hope you like it. I like the color, and we're going to do another one, like I said, on a larger canvas. Once this dries, we'll tweak the consistency just a little bit, and I think that should work. Okay, guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you real soon.